right now, but we're both muted, and it's going to be the stream starting soon screen. As soon as we see that pop up, we'll transition over. Dude, I'm so excited. Like, I forgot how to fucking run OBS. First night, this is the first interview. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, this is. Aloha, friends. Welcome back. Welcome back. We've got a special live podcast for you tonight on Fireside Chats. My good buddy, Best of the Worst. How are you doing this evening, my friend?
Man, I'm doing so good, dude. Thank you so much for inviting me here. Let's get some beard hug hype in the chat, guys.
Beard hug hype. Look, I got a mini-me. But if you want to see a professional stash,
get those beard hug hypes in the chat.
Beard hug hype, man. So it's so awesome to be here this evening. We've only tried, God, what is this? The 6th try to get this thing done? You're too damn popular.
I know. Dude, I'm busy, man. It's not even that popular. I'm just stinking busy, man.
Well, I really appreciate you taking time out of your evening. I know, well, I'm not going to tell them. I was going to say I know some things about you, but I'm just going to let you tell it. So tonight, guys, we're going to do, this is a Q&A segment that I like to do with other DLive streamers, and we get to know them on a more personal level. We kind of talk about streaming, we talk about DLive, we talk about Lino. So with zero further ado, first question I always like to ask, friend, is how did you come up with the name that you use to stream, and what does it mean to you?
Sure, yeah. I don't know. I'm terrible with coming up with names. And so for me, coming up with a name, like for instance, so I played World of Warcraft since 2004, and in World of Warcraft, you always create a character's name. And when I played Dungeons and Dragons, I always played a dwarf barbarian. That's what I always played.
Okay.
And I always played E-Bard. And I don't know why. Like, I just opened up the book, and that was the first one that I came up with. Or that's like the first one I saw that wasn't too many vowels and all that nonsense that you can't pronounce. And so I went with that. And then when I went to start playing World of Warcraft, I played a dwarf priest, and I was like, all right, well, I'm playing dwarf again because I can't get away from that. And so I went with I typed in E-Bard, but some nerd took eBard first, and I changed it to eBark. And for 2004 to now 2019, still play World of Warcraft. 15 years, I make eBark, Druidbark, Shambark, because I can't, like, I'm terrible with coming up with names.
Okay.
And so when I started playing like Xbox and like playing Halo and all that kind of stuff like that, I had to make a gamer tag again.
Mm-hmm.
And so my first name is Jacob, and I was born in '86. And so I thought, Jacobs 86, there's the name. And I ran with that for a long time. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I was like, I'm going to use my last name. So my last name is Worcester, which means sausage maker. And what better thing to describe my gaming ability than calling it best of the worst?
The worst.
The worst, man. So it's kind of one of those, like, it's a play on words of my game ability with people finding it cheeky funny to say worst all the time. And so as a community, we, when things are really, really great, we don't say that they're great. We say that they're the worst. And so when we say things are the worst, it doesn't mean that they're bad. It means that they are, like, just, top tier, 10 out of 10, awesome. And it's kind of been one of those things, like, for me, marketing, when it comes to being on DLive and talking to people, when I go into a stream and somebody says, oh man, that's the worst, dude, that's like an instant plug for me to be like, you plugged me. Like,
you knew?
You said my name.
You knew.
You knew. You know me. You know me. That's crazy. And
it's super fun, dude. I've been in your chat when people have accidentally said worst, and the chat explodes.
It just explodes, man. Yep.
Every time.
You say it without realizing it, and I don't know, like, subconsciously, if I'm trying to create this movement where we don't use the word worst all the time, but I don't know. It's a ton of fun to catch people when they say it. And...
Well, I didn't actually know that it was part of your real last name.
Yeah. I'm telling you, man, I'm terrible with coming up with screen names. So
I mean, I don't know if you know, but my name's Author Joe Holt, and I mean, that's zero level of creativity. So you're miles beyond, sir.
Miles.
Yeah, I don't think you give yourself enough credit.
As a kid, everybody makes fun of something, and so whether it was my weight or I moved a lot when I was a kid and all that kind of different stuff. And my last name was just another thing that people made fun of. And you kind of, like, create this thick skin, and you create, like, for me, I went to humor, and I went to self-deprivation type of stuff where like, I wanted to make fun of myself first before somebody else could make fun of me. And so
right. LT Zonda calls it taking the piss out of it.
Yeah, and I guess that's true. Yeah, you're taking the fire away from them, and like, I would rather make fun of myself than somebody make fun of me. And so that's kind of and then you create this online persona, and you have a handful of people that religiously stop by, and you can with DLive, before today, a normal good stream was 20 something, 30 something, and so you had 20 something, 30 something people in there hanging out. And I want to be the one that first makes fun of my bald head or my overweight or, my last name being, the worst. And so I use it as humor. I use it as a wall to be broken down for people to get to know me. Well,
and now what's cool is, like, I met you because of DLive. I've always known you to be the worst. And to me, it's like, it's a term of endearment, right? Like, I didn't know that it was... There you go. I know. See, dude, if you got anything with a beard on it, this man, you'll get his attention. He even has a beard for his head, but we'll talk about that later. Unless you want to talk about it now. Go ahead.
This will be making an appearance today in live on stream after this is over. So stop on by.
He has such a beard.
Selfless plug.
That he has a top for the bottom.
Sometimes you got, because all the stream sees is this, like...
That's
true. They would have no
That's
idea
true.
that I'm bald. They have no idea I'm bald the rest of the way.
That's true. That's the magic of the internet, right? No idea. All right, so the first question was, how'd you come up with your name? We know. Now the other question, the next question, not the other question. There's more than two, but the next question is, when did you start streaming? How long ago? And what got you into streaming?
Sure, sure. I think I started streaming 5 years ago,
Wow.
and when I say like I started streaming, that means I created a Twitch account, I downloaded OBS, and I played Brawlhalla on my laptop as just kind of like a one thing, you know. And so I can't remember what that thing was called now, but it was those like subscription packs back in the day where you would get like super cool gaming stuff. Loot box, that's what it was called, loot box.
Okay. Okay.
And out of nowhere, loot box sent me a alpha for Brawlhalla, and I was like, all right, I'll play it. Super low end, like super low grade graphics, not really anything intense. So my laptop didn't struggle at all. So I started playing it, and out of nowhere, like people started watching, but I had terrible microphone. I had no webcam, but because the game was super limited, that was what was bringing it in.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I didn't really stick with it. Kind of, I had a lot. It was when we lived in Colorado for a year. We were trying to start a company, and I was working full time with a family trying to start a company, and so streaming kind of just became, you know, out of the picture.
Right.
I kind of did off and on with Mixer on Xbox, and had some pretty decent traction with the like gamer pass type of stuff that would or like games for gold. Anytime a new one would come out, I'd play it. People would watch me. But again, just not having the kit, not having the time, not having a consistent schedule, I just didn't see the return from people playing. And well, last year was January of 2018. I lost a job that I was working at. I moved to a city and went out of my way to move there. Had bought a house and all this kind of stuff like that. Lost this job, and a buddy of mine who big supporter on our channel and big great friend of mine actually became friends with me through World of Warcraft. He was our guild master, and we left World of Warcraft together and started playing other things. And he encouraged me. He's like, dude, you need to start streaming again, and you just need to get focused. You need to have a purpose for doing things. You need to wake up with a mission, like have a plan type of thing. And so February of 2018, I decided I'm going to start streaming. And I did it because I also started doing online ESL, English as a second language, to teaching children in China.
Wow.
English. And so I had to buy a webcam. I had to buy a good microphone so I could do this job that actually would pay me money. And so I kind of like stumbled into the gear that then turned into a pretty decent following on Facebook. And so that's where I started streaming, was on Facebook gaming. And I had a blast. It was open and just crazy, like Wild West style of gaming, and it was super fun. People were popping in, like the reach was crazy on Facebook when it first started. I would play Fortnite, and I would have like 100 and something people watching me play Fortnite, just being like, "Man, this is so much fun! Can we join?" And we'd kind of do that rotation, and then it kind of just hit this wall where I never went over 200 followers. I got burnt out on Fortnite. I got so tired of playing the same game over and over and over again, getting the same conversation in chat. Hey, can you come in? Can I join you? What's your epic tag? All the, I'm 12. Can we play? And type of stuff.
Right. And
we just got tired of it. Got your six and we were just burnt out every single day of running into that. And I was kind of to the point where I was almost done streaming. And then a great buddy of mine from Facebook Gaming, Chaos Keith, was streaming one day to DLive, doing a dual stream. And I was just watching him because I just enjoyed watching him. And he just kept talking to somebody else, kept talking to these other people. And I'm like, dude, like, are you talking to somebody in your head? Are you like, who are you talking to? And he's like, oh, sorry, man, I'm on DLive. You should come over. You should check it out. And so I came over, and man, my mind was blown by this idea that you could talk and gain Lino, and then you could turn that Lino and give it back to the streamer. Over on Facebook, you had stars. You had to buy stars. Stars cost a fee. Then Facebook took a portion of that fee, and then you had to wait until you had $100 before they would send you a check that then also got another fee taken out of it because they had to write you a check.
Wow.
And so I get on to D Live, and Chaos Keith is just like gushing with how awesome this is. And I'm like, man, if anything, I might as well, do a dual stream and kind of just check it out and just see if it works. And so for a month straight, January of 2019, we streamed dual stream to D Live and to Facebook, and just hard promoted. And then it got to the point where I had like one person watching me, and it was my wife, who I just always left logged in on Facebook on my account. And that was it. That's all I would have all night. For 4 hours I would stream, and I wouldn't have anybody else come in. And so it just became this point where I was just like, I'm done. I'm D Live only. And then I just started blasting it to all of my friends, all my buddies that were streaming on D Live or on Facebook, and it's history, dude. We've been growing and growing and growing.
So how long have you been streaming on D Live now?
D Live exclusive since February of 2019. So
okay,
so for me, like, I don't live off of streaming. So for me to say D Live exclusive is, it's not like a Zonda, it's not like a Flow, right. Where they have given a big thing. But for me, like, I'm not reaching anything else. Like, I've thought about Mixer, I've thought about all these other places just to do other things, but the community of D Live is just so captivating and
I agree,
intoxicating.
All right, so we're going to get into talking about D Live here in a minute, but first let's make sure to keep it about you, just because the first part of these interviews we really like to get to know you on a more personal level.
Sure, man.
So I heard you mention this earlier. I always ask if you don't mind sharing what your first name is, just so the viewers can kind of get to know you a little better.
Jacobo
Ryan Wurstich Schnitzel. His name's Jacob, okay? His name's Jacob. So the next thing we like to ask is, we all have personal lives, and maybe you want to talk about yours. If you have kids, if you're married, if you have a favorite dog, if you really like your job.
Just favorite dog. I can't say favorite kid.
Yeah. Favorite kids work too. Yeah. I have a favorite.
So my wife and I met in 2005, and we were both going to the same college at the time. So we met in 2005. We started dating. That was spring break of 2005. We started dating August of 2005, and then we got married June of 2007. So we'll be coming up on 12 years of being hooked up. Get crunk. And so 12 years of marriage.
Can't take that anywhere. We can't take this guy anywhere.
You can't, man. we have 3 wonderful, 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 wonderful kids.
Which one's the favorite?
Which one's the favorite? The one that no.
Don't answer that.
Well, I was gonna say the newest one because she can't talk, but she's a little turd bucket too. So I love them all equally. But my oldest is 7. He's my son. His name's Jonah, and currently the one that's not in trouble. Yeah, that's right.
Nice.
And so my oldest is Jonah. He's 7. My middle daughter, her name's Ellie, and she's 5. And then my youngest is Oakley, and she will be turning 2 in August. And literally, here's a fun story. I say fun, but whatever. But
whatever.
We're all born in August.
Wow.
Yep.
So that's
Jonah was born August 12th. Yeah, that's what everyone says.
No, because of birthdays. It would have been 9 months earlier. That was the busiest month.
No, I get you. August 12th for Jonah, August 8th for Ellie, and then August 1st for Oakley. And So we do a combined birthday every single year.
That's the worst.
It's the worst.
No, I used to hate that, man, because I have five
Yeah.
brothers, and I had a brother that same, right with the same area, and we always had a dual birthday, and we always were like bummed out.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. I'm just saying they want to
I
feel
think
special.
I think every kid on some, I don't know, on some level hates their birthday for some reason. I
Well,
don't
yeah,
know.
if their dad makes them have a birthday with all the other brothers and sisters.
No, okay, let me.
No,
So
no, it's the worst.
my birthday is in January, okay, and I was born in Orlando, Florida, with a January birthday. We had a pool in my backyard with a spa. Like in-ground pool had a thing where you could jump off of, like a waterfall that you could jump off of, and the spa was heated. Like it was sick. But January in Florida is still like 40 degrees. And
Mm.
so like all my buddies are getting to have pool parties, like pool birthday parties in their like for their birthdays. They're inviting all their friends over. I hated my birthday. It made me so mad that I couldn't have a pool party. Finally, my mom let us have a pool party, and she's like, "You guys are gonna regret it," and kind of thing. I do a really good mom impersonation,
Yeah,
and
that was pretty good. Yeah.
she was like, "Just sit in the hot tub. That's the only place you can sit is the hot tub." And so we get in the spa, and we're hanging out in the spa, and then we all get a brilliant idea, like, you know what? We are going to jump in the pool. Not only is the pool cold because it's January, but when you sit in a spa and then you jump into a cold pool, it became a game where we are like, how long can you sit in a
Uh,
frigid pool? And it was a lot of fun. But that was the only one. I also enjoy ice cream cake for my birthday, and having a January birthday with ice cream cake is struggles. Struggles
yeah,
real. So
especially if you're in the pool.
especially don't poop in the pool, kids.
Well, I mean that happens. I have kids. All right. We'll leave that alone. If you don't
Yeah.
have kids, it's so much fun. Try
Oh my goodness.
it.
I was giving my youngest a bath the other day. Never mind, I won't tell that story.
Yeah, don't tell that story. I've got one of those stories too. Don't. We're gonna
It
leave
ended with poop.
the poop. Yeah, oh, I've caught my kids playing with
Bath time's done.
floaters.
Get out, kids.
Yeah, you're like, yeah, you're done. You're done. You're not even clean anymore. Get the hell out. You're in a poo. You're in a poo stew, and that just
Now I
doesn't
gotta
help
scoop
anything.
all the poo out.
Anyway, that's the worst. It's the worst. Kids are easy. They said,
Kids are
wait, do you
easy,
have
Black Beezy says.
kids?
He's
Because
got 5.
he has 5 kids. All right, hey man, whatever.
4 or 5. I might have overshot. So
I defer to you, man. I have 2 kids, and that was enough. That was enough. So I actually know a little secret about you, what you like to do on your free time. But if we won't talk about that. No, we just talked about it earlier about about you being a youth minister, and if you wouldn't mind
yeah.
talking about that. Yeah,
Sure.
I had to direct your attention because yeah,
I get a little distracted.
easily distracted.
Yeah.
But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. Been a youth minister now for 8 years, and yeah, it's kind of one of those. It goes along with my story of even kind of what got me into streaming and all that kind of stuff like that. Just because I don't know, if you go to church, okay, and I'm not here. I am not DLive's preacher, okay, and I'm not here to like I drink on stream and we watch Boondock Saints together, and we got dirty on stream, man.
We got drunk.
No,
Actually, I
I'm not
just
here to
hold
be
on.
the
I want to
holier than thou
interject.
person by any stretch of the imagination, okay?
Okay.
But if you go to church, if there are the select few of you out there that do go to church, you quickly start to realize that there's not a lot of diversity in church, and I love different kinds of people, and I want to get to know different kinds of people, and I want to make friends with lots of different
Friends.
kinds of people, and be silly with people, and just be real with people. And I've got to experience that with streaming, and it's allowed me to be. I've got kids that are part of our youth group that actually watch me on D Live and get to see, this part of me. And so, yeah, it's pretty cool. And, I just get to be a part of people's life. And that, to me, that makes it super exciting. And so, but yeah, I went to school for ministry, and
Oh wow!
I have nine years of schooling, and I have 2 degrees.
Actually, we can see one of them, and the other one's out. What are they? Do you want
One
to?
is a bachelor's of Christian ministry in just general education,
Mm-hmm.
and then the other one is a bachelor of arts in student ministry. And so,
Dude, I had no idea. See,
a
look
lot
at
of people
this.
a lot of people go to school for 9 years. They're called doctors, but
Yeah. You look like a doctor to me. Well, not really. I just thought I'd be, No, I went to school for 10 years. I have 0 degrees. I mean, I went to college for 10 years and I have
yeah,
0 degrees.
yeah,
I literally have 22 years of school if you count primary and no degrees. So,
nice. Well, high school.
congratulations. No, no,
Yeah, well done.
it's a huge accomplishment, So, congratulations, man.
I appreciate that, man.
But
Yeah, for me, when I was in high school, I did not like. I hated school. Like, I hated everything about school. I was super distracted. I had a really hard time focusing. And then when I got to college, the whole mind for me just opened up. Like, for me, college really clicked. Like, I was able to, like, I enjoyed the freedom of studying in college. Yeah, I mean,
mhm.
most of the time when people have 10 years of schooling and no degree, it's because they had a hard time like finding what path they wanted to go on, which is why I have 2 degrees. And they also have a hard time like getting over some particular classes that they don't want to take and that kind of stuff. And I totally get that.
Mhm.
Like, I had classes where I was just like, I had to like just struggle through and power through,
Well, I
just
mean,
get
that's
over
why I
it.
don't have a
But
degree because I
yep,
couldn't get myself through those classes.
exactly. Yeah, I mean, it's super common. And so there's some sense of just the personal accomplishment to say like, I've done it.
Oh, dude,
That
that's
was fun.
exactly when I say congratulations, I don't mean it trite. I mean
Yeah,
like
I
as a
appreciate it.
guy who tried for 10 years to
Right.
get a freaking associate's degree, yeah, and didn't, mind you.
Right.
It's massive. I actually was married with a kid, so married with a family, and I failed a psychology class called
Mm.
Marriage and Family 3 semesters in a row. Seriously,
Yep.
like it's the struggle is real.
Yeah.
So,
I think the hardest part for college has nothing to do with abstract thinking and with research and with all that kind of stuff. I think the hardest thing for a lot of people with college, and for me, was like the formatting, the MLA, like the nonsensical. You have to have this many spaces, and you have to,
mhm.
even right now, like when I write a lesson for my work, I don't write it like anybody else looks at it, they're just like, what is this nonsense? And to me, it makes sense because it's my thinking process, it's how I go
Mm.
through it. And people all the time are like, man, could you send me what you just talked about? And I'm just like, it's not going to make sense to you. Like, what I have down on paper doesn't translate to
Mm.
what makes sense. And it's kind of crazy, kind of like, I don't know.
You're a special kind of the worst, man. That's why we
I'm a
love you.
special worst. I'm a
Yeah, yeah.
spicy worst.
Yes, yes.
I'm the spicy brat.
So the next thing we always like to get into is what is it now? What's really great about you is that you have been live streaming for like 5+ years, and you've
Mm-hmm.
only been on D Live the last few months, which is
Right.
actually a lot of us joined this year, January,
Mm-hmm.
February, right?
Yeah.
So what is it about D Live that is different than say Facebook gaming or what you've
Sure.
seen on Twitch and stuff? And what
Right.
now? There's two parts to this question, and I think they're both equally important. What
Okay.
is it that you love about D Live, and what is it that you think maybe could be different?
Okay. All right. Um, that's a good question. So
Thanks.
obviously, what I like about D Live is return on investment.
Hmm.
What I would say is
Mhm.
what I like about D Live. And I don't mean just in locking in your Lino points, but
Lock in your lean-up ones.
yeah, that's not even the only thing that I mean. When I go into somebody else's stream and and I meet up with a guy like author Joe Holt, and I'm like, "Hey, what's going on, man?" And because I personally, while I am a streamer, I love watching people's streams. And so I
Mm-hmm.
go in, I start talking to you. You don't just sit in your own world where you're like, "Hey, thank you so much for stopping by my stream." That's it, you know. Instead, you're like, "Hey, well, what are you about? What do you stream?" That's a
Mm-hmm.
big question that I got asked a lot when I came to D Live. What do you like to play? What do you like to stream? And without me even having to like self plug, I just simply say, well, I love to play this, right? This is what I'm into, or this is what I streamed the other night. And then the people turn around and not just like follow for follow, but they come and check it out. And these streamers are watching other people's streams. It's crazy how you can go into somebody stream and see so many verified partners, so many people like
Yes.
global partners and verified partners that are actually watching streams. They don't just hang out in their own little bubble and just kind of live there. They actually leave and so you can go into a stream and you can drop some lino that you've earned, and those people now are invested in you. So I've made an
Mm-hmm.
investment in connecting to them, both in time and maybe in money, and then they reciprocate. And not that I'm like, oh, I'm going to give you a diamond so you can come in and give me a ninjagini, but now they're like, wow, this guy cares, and I'm going to go check him out, and they get to come and see my content and see what I'm all about. And it's pretty crazy. On Facebook, if you would go into somebody else's stream, it was a hot mess of follow my stream, I'll follow yours, but nobody would come in and watch. I would go out of my way to try and like go and watch people, and they would be like, "Hey, oh man, thank you so much. I saw you in this thing," and then I would never see them come into my stream. And so, for me to come to a platform where I put in the time, I put in the work to network and and energy, like we all don't have a ton of time in life, and for you to actually see it worthwhile, like that to me is the best part about D Live, and I hope that never stops about D Live. No matter how big we grow, no matter how many PewDiePie people show up, and what's up everybody, and no matter all of that, no matter how big your streams get, I hope that part of D Live stays. And I think the reason that it will stay is because with D Live being decentralized, it's kind of natural to it. It's kind of
Yeah.
natural where we as the community own the platform. And so as a community, we are making the decisions on what streams we want to see, what
Mm-hmm.
content we want to have, that kind of stuff. And so what do I not like about D Live, or what do I think could be improved about D Live, or
Mm-hmm.
what's the where's the mark missed, I guess? I don't know. That's kind of, I would say up until today, I would say the thing that D Live has struggled with the most is finding true viewers, not just reaching out to just streamers, but
Right.
reaching out to people that just want to watch streams. Now, like I for myself, I know the people that I have that don't stream
Mm-hmm.
and that watch me, and they're amongst the community, like the bee's knees, for instance,
Mm-hmm.
or got your six. Like they're not streamers, but they are people that love watching streams, and so they come in and chat and hang out and play games,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's the biggest thing that D Live has been struggling with. And I mean, it seems like D Live is on the up and up right now on making that happen, and turning that kind of that corner on that. So
Well, I mean, I
I don't know.
definitely noticed when I got to D Live that it seemed to be streamers supporting streamers, right?
Right.
And I really like that. I like that we had time to get to know each other, right? And that
Yeah.
we became friends
Right.
because you see my face, you hear my voice, you hear my story, then I get to see your face and hear your voice and talk to you. And it's like you live next door to the person, basically.
Right.
You
Yeah.
become real friends, even though maybe like you and I actually live pretty close together, but you could be on the
Yeah.
other side of the world from somebody
Sure.
and still feel like you know them on a real personal level.
Yeah.
And then of course, obviously, like you referred earlier, PewDiePie, dude. This guy has 93 million followers on YouTube, and just created an account on DLive today. And I don't know what the current count is. 55,000, 60,000 followers already. 250,000 Lino donated. There was like 8,500 people in his chat earlier just watching the timer tick down till he starts streaming on Sunday. I mean, that's
61,700 followers right now.
Yeah, so basically more than all of the rest of us put together. Like, maybe not specifically, but he basically brought the viewers to the platform. The streamers are here. We're working. We've been streaming every day. But now, I mean, I saw people whose chat normally has an average of 12 to 15 people with like 300 viewers.
I know, man.
People are gaining hundreds of followers. Like today alone, 150 to 300 followers. I mean, it can't be overstated.
Follow Joe Holt.
It can't be overstated, you know, like how important it was for him to move that many 93 million people, guys.
Yeah. Well, and here's the beauty of DLive is he doesn't have to leave YouTube from my understanding, you know. He's here and there. And so I don't know. Like,
well, what he said was he's going to exclusively live stream on DLive. But that you can still upload your live stream videos from DLive to YouTube.
Yeah, he's not dual streaming. Yeah, he's not dual live streaming.
Right, but
he still can profit like from YouTube because DLive doesn't monopolize you, you know, and they don't make you become exclusive. So. Right.
Well, and something I really like that he said, he actually put out a video today. And he said the reason that he agreed and had this exclusivity with DLive is because, you know, and this is coming from the largest content creator in the face of this planet, the largest audience. He said it's the first time really that the power has been given to the content creators. We own the platform. We own our content. It's the first time the platform is rewarding you instead of just making money off of you.
Here's even the next level. This is a whole nother level, mind-blowing moment right now, okay? It's not even just the streamers that own the platform. Because all you have to do as a viewer is lock Lino points and you are a stakeholder in DLive. You too are a community-driven content or I don't know. I can't think of the word I want to say. Like you too have a voice in what DLive does because you stake points into DLive. Like even as a viewer.
Well, and even on a more literal basis, if you have locked in Lino, you get to vote on everything that happens with the platform.
Yeah.
Like every time you claim your daily Lino reward, you get to vote.
Yep.
That's power. I mean, there's been no other company I've ever found that you can get involved with so easily and that pays you daily dividends.
All right. I mean, the fact that you can just climb onto Discord and you know, just reach out to Cheech. You can just reach right out to Tidy, and you know, in a handful of moments, they've gotten back to you, or they've told you what the solution will be, or you know, like it's just. I mean, I would used to like send a ticket to Facebook Gaming to let them know that something was broken on their stream, and it would be like minimum of a week, if not 2 to 3, before I would even hear back. Hey, we received your notification. Thank you so much. We have somebody on it. Like, and then it was like another 2 to 3 weeks before we actually saw something, whether it be, you know, what you were talking about wasn't really a problem, or we're not going to address it, or you know, you're not big enough for us to care about, or whatever. But that's the crazy thing is you can have 50 followers, or you can have, you know, 31,000 followers, and you're going to get the same exact attention on DLive that that everybody does across the board. So
yeah, because I've actually was playing a game that had just come out a couple weeks earlier, and I contacted DLive through their Discord help channel. and said, "Hey, I'm playing this new game. Here's the
Mm.
cover art. Can you add it to the categories?" An hour and a half later, while I'm playing the game, it updates. It's been added.
So I don't know if you've heard of this game called Apex Legends, but I actually knew about it coming out before it was coming out, and I
Wow.
messaged Cheech like, "Hey, dude, you guys are gonna need to do something about this. This game is going to be crazy, okay?" And he's all like, "Oh man, well give me the thumbnail and I'll get it loaded up for you." And so I got it. I gave him the thumbnail that now is the uh the D Live Apex Legends image. Like
Wow.
that's the craziness about D Live is all I heard was Epic or EA was going to be releasing this game and it was going to be coming out at this time and everybody was going to be able to play it and like nothing else other than that. And I just reached out to Cheech and I was like, man, you guys are gonna want to do something about this and they did. I mean, your story is completely true, whether it be a giant game like Apex Legends or American Truckers Back Road Hooker game or whatever.
No, it was
They
Foundation actually, which is another obscure building sim. But yeah,
yeah.
no.
Yep.
But
That's the beauty of D Live and I know there's a lot of people like that I talk to that are like, well, I make sure that I don't interrupt. They're overseas. I don't want to interrupt their time and their sleep patterns. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna message them the moment I think about it. And if they're awake, awesome. If I wake them up, sorry about you, but you don't have to answer my response. But and I don't know. I've probably messaged them at any point throughout the day, and it might be an hour or two, and they'll get back to me, or it's immediately, like moments later. Yeah,
that is,
American Trucker Backdoor Hooker. That game is fire.
for anybody that doesn't know, it's called American Truck Simulator. Also, there's a
Except
year.
it doesn't simulate
Uh,
the real trucker experience.
there's no lot
There's no big
lizards.
gulps.
There's
There's
no
no big
big
gulps.
gulps. You don't have to stop
One
and
big gulp.
pee. Actually, I've got this. This isn't a big gulp, but yeah, yeah.
There's no big gulp.
Well, what's awesome
You know,
about D Labs, you can literally stream just about anything you want,
you can.
right? As long as it doesn't violate community standards.
Right.
So
Yeah, I mean, they do have a TOS and they do have
mhm.
but they're not even like Guardians, even staff will pop in and man, I mean, I'm just like Sean Hawk. You and I were talking about Sean Hawk before
Mhm.
coming in here, man. That guy for me has like opened up my whole mind of creativity for what to do. So his big shtick is that when he gets a dono, he's got a fun special little video for when, and he's got some ones that are like
Mhm.
he's like applying lipstick and stuff. Man, it's like super cringe, and I love it. Every moment of it, I love it. And for me, I was like, man, I could do that. Like, I could make cringe, funny things where people are like, oh my goodness, I can't believe you just did that live on stream, and that kind of stuff. And so we started doing those things. So when people donate Lino, when, anything from a little itty bitty lemon all the way up to a ninjet, hashtag haven't gotten one. And so I have a video for them all. I have videos for Beard Hype Hug. It's just, to me, I was like, man, this is awesome. And D Live just loves it. D Live loves it all. You
Mhm.
can, I have music that on Facebook I would have been muted for playing that kind of stuff. And I didn't say I would put on lipstick. Uh, I
That's
said he does.
the chat's goading him. I mean, I'd pay to see that.
You would pay to see it, dude.
Yeah.
I've got one for when I get my first. I don't know. Technically, I say if I got 2 ninjets, I've got a truffle shuffle video locked and loaded in my on my OBS.
The
Do you know what the truffle shuffle is?
no, I
You
don't.
don't know what the truffle shuffle
I
is?
know what a truffle is. Is that
Truffle shuffle is from the Goonies, man, and
oh
it
man,
was the
well,
dance.
I didn't know you were gonna reach back 35 years. Jesus.
Yep, it was a request. I got your sick.
Ah.
So it's locked and loaded on OBS for when I get 2 ninjets. Now, I have a real one, like I have a real video. I also have a super cringe, like to me it's super uncomfortable truffle shuffle video. So
This is the
dude, like to
best.
me, to me, I'm even uncomfortable watching it. Like,
Okay, fatty.
and I made it.
From another disabled vet, I have brain damage, man. I have memory problems. At least I know what the Goonies is. The Goonies never say die, man. He's for yeah. I know about the Goonies. I know about all those actors when they were
he just didn't realize that was where I was quoting from.
Yeah, so. Yeah. No, I just didn't know about the Truffle Shuffle. I didn't remember.
Oh.
But don't worry, man. I get smashed all the time on these interviews for not knowing simple things.
I know, man. Flo blasted you for not knowing what freaking Pokemon was. Man.
I wasn't gonna be specific, but yeah. Pokemon. What's Pokemon?
She beat you up, man. He beat you up over that.
I guess what's even worse is I didn't know who PewDiePie was until today, and 93 million other people were like, "How? How did you not know?"
Yeah. There's your next challenge, Joe.
To get him on here. Well, actually, he posted that video today about moving to DLive exclusively. And I actually put a comment on that video saying, hey, I interview DLive streamers. Mm-hmm. If you want to be on a live podcast, let's do it. So if any of you guys know PewDiePie directly, definitely tell him Author Joe Holt.
You need to get with his people.
Fireside chats, man. Live podcasts, that'd be awesome to do. But when I pick guests for this show, it's about how, a solid individual, right? It doesn't matter if you've been streaming for 5 days or 5 years. Right? Mm-hmm. We're just trying to share quality content creators, regardless of the followers or subscribers or any of that sort of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. That's when we did the Boondock Saints thing, like mm-hmm. we went out of our way. We both had our streams up. We both, because we were both streaming like our own kind of content within that. But,
right.
That's not at all like what this is about. Like that was the thing that attracted me, and that's why I was like, I know we did a Boondock Saints thing, but I think I want to do your Fireside too. Like not just us drinking Jameson by the liter,
by the bottle.
Yeah.
Oh man, and by the way, I went and checked just because I was, morbid curiosity basically. The very last replay that's available still right now on your channel, Best of the Worst, is our St. Patty's Day stream.
You told me to delete it, man. I still haven't.
You don't have to.
If you want to check out this stinking replay of us just getting plastered watching Boondock Saints. Wait. I guess we were watching.
I mean, for like 10 to 15 minutes at least.
Yeah.
The Jameson flowed freely. But I wore this shirt just for you. This is my St. Patty's Day drinking
man, I see
shirt.
You're still wearing your hat and everything, dude.
Oh, I love this. This is my driving hat, man. I got used to wearing it now. I love it. And it fits under the headset, too. Like a normal ball cap. Like, the ball cap kind of pinches on you.
Mm-hmm.
But I've seen you wear all kinds of wigs and scarves and hats. I love it, man.
Yeah, for instance, I told you already how important St. Patty's Day, back in our St. Patty's Day stream was. But just to kind of give you like a little glimpse for all of those that didn't watch the St. Patty's Day stream. So I actually had an interview for the job in Oklahoma that let me go, which is what started all of the streaming side of stuff. But I was actually interviewing on St. Patty's Day. My wife's birthday is on St. Patty's Day. For whatever reason, I guess I could have picked green to interview, like Skype interview with, but I don't know. I guess I decided not to wear green, but I didn't want my wife to come, and I don't know, like I don't think she would have, but I didn't want my wife to come in and pinch me while I was interviewing. And so, because she's crazy about St. Patty's Day. She loves St. Patty's Day, and so she's crazy about it. And so I had a hat on, like a little itty bitty, like green top hat. Like, look how big my head is, right? And it's like this. It was like a little itty bitty thing, and that's what I interviewed, and they loved it. Like they were like, that was right there. That's what caught our attention about you, was that that you're okay with being silly, and you're not like, you don't take yourself too serious. And life can be serious, and life can wear you down and be
Hmm.
overwhelming, and feel just, bog you down kind of stuff. And for me to show that little glimpse, to me was like this mind opening moment where I was just like, I think being silly is fun. And so yeah, I mean, whether it be wearing my bandana, or wearing my mullet wig, or wearing my sweet new hairdo, uh, hashtag toupee, or I've got some pink feather thing that I'm gonna put it on tonight, or some golden locks. I don't know. We'll be streaming afterwards, so
The
if you want to see some craziness, stop on by.
the
So
golden locks has my attention. I think it would go fabulous with your eyes. Yeah, yeah. If you've never gotten the eye sparkle, guys,
oh yeah,
go
yeah.
go drop some Lino in his chat. You're gonna get to see. I dude. So here's what's awesome about D Live, guys. You not only can you have a personality on the camera, but through Tidy Labs, you can actually customize the alerts, follow subscribers. All the
Mm-hmm.
donations have different videos,
Yep.
and worst, I really love like all the new stuff that you've done. I've
Mm.
literally bought Lino just to come to your channel just so I can see your videos.
Yeah.
Cause like you said,
Yeah.
one lemon is a penny, right?
Yeah.
But even for a penny, you guys, you've never been more entertained for a penny in your life. I'm serious. This
Oh man,
guy,
I mean, yeah, that's what we go for. I mean, we run the hashtag beard hug, and if you sub, you get a beard hug. If you,
I love
I
beard
mean,
hugs. Beard
that's
hug
just
hype in the chat.
that's what we're about, man. And I want people to feel like they're getting their money's worth. I mean, that was something that Sean said, and all of a sudden that resonated with me. I was like, yes, like it's not just watch me play a video game and watch me have stupid banter about how ridiculous some play was, but like even more so, like you gave me a buck 20. Now I want you to feel like that was special, and so I and then like for me, like it's made me as a content creator like drive for what that means to like what would be
Hmm.
entertaining, and what, I don't know, like I've really enjoyed D Live. It's pushed me as a streamer to be creative.
Well, I
And
was gonna
so
ask, like, since you've been on like again, you've been streaming for 5 years, but you've been on D Live
yeah.
since February, so 2 to 3 months.
Hmm.
How much has your creativity, or like, how
Oh
much
yeah.
more have you been like excited because just in the few months you've been here, like, how much
Right.
has it affected your creativity?
Oh, like tenfold for sure.
Hmm.
um I mean, for my job, like I do creative things. Like I do like these stickers that we have. Like I made stickers for Enforcer J, um, and that kind of stuff. Like that, I make that stuff like just as a for my job. Like I do those things. Like anytime you do a Facebook post, you get way
Hmm.
more attention on a Facebook post for anything when you use a picture. And
Hmm.
so for me, this kind of stuff I've always done, but just now kind of this like moment where I clicked, where I was like, oh, I could do that for streaming. And then Zonda says this. Zonda says this all the time in his stream is, don't go into somebody else's stream and just steal their content. Like that's not what he's talking about. Like don't go and steal their content, but go and see, like go and understand, like, and what was it about somebody's stream that you really enjoyed,
Hmm.
and what was it about their thing that you were like, wow, that was really clever. I want to make that my own now. And so, like I'm saying with Sean, like that's what I did. I don't know where I got my like kind of my tagline or my announcement of my tagline, but anytime anybody follows me, I always drop the thank you for joining the worst stream on D Live. um and that's that, like those kind of things where I've just kind of see something from somebody else's stream, and I'm just like, I want to do that, I want to make that my own. But I don't know why on Facebook, I guess it's that like you just got into that trench that you're just trudging along, and
Hmm.
never really felt like there was a purpose to create. And so whereas on D
Hmm.
Live, like I'm seeing return on my off stream investment time. I'm seeing a return on me putting in time to make videos and stuff like that. So I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't even know if I can say tenfold. I mean, like a gazillion fold. Like it's upped my creativity level. It's made me want to figure out like how to make my stream look better
Well, and to
and make
be
my content
honest,
better.
I mean, I could actually see a difference in you on stream,
Mm.
right? Like you seem more engaged. You actually seem more entertained yourself, right? Like
Oh, sure.
not just we're not just here entertaining you guys, like it's entertaining us too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I've always said if I can't entertain myself, then nobody's going to be entertained by it. So if I don't find myself to be funny, then nobody's going to find it funny. And so yeah, I have a blast just
I'm gonna
being
we've got a
on stream.
request. I'm listening. I'm listening. Well, and what's cool is like with your new alerts, I've
Mm,
actually seen you get excited to play them. Like you
I
get this
know.
like wicked look in your eye.
Yeah. You
So
gotta like this. Yeah, and even that, like, I don't know. I guess I need to pay a lot of credit just to that man, that Sean Hawk man, and because even him, like that's his thing too. And I guess I didn't realize that even, but like, he's just like, oh, you're gonna hate me for this one, and that kind of stuff. And obviously, I'm making it my own, and
right, right.
but even just the introing of it is even, yeah.
Oh man, this is so awesome. All right, so while we're talking about it, and we've even talked
Cut out of me,
about
man. I'm so sorry.
we're even talking about like how much we've learned in the last few months as
Mm-hmm.
streamers. So I always like to ask the streamers if somebody's new to streaming or they're thinking about getting into streaming.
Yeah.
I need again, this is a two-part question. What kind of
Okay.
things would you tell them to do that will be helpful? But
Okay.
also, what kind of things would you say these are not helpful? This will hurt you.
Oh, okay.
Like for instance, for me would say I've seen people do 17, 18, 24-hour streams and it's clearly bad for them and they clearly drop in
Right.
production value halfway through. And I would say, only stream for 4 to 6 hours. You start getting into longer
Hmm.
streams, it affects you negatively. I feel like
Right.
physically, it's
Okay.
so.
Yeah.
First, let's
Um.
start with what you think would be
Yeah.
something that people could do that would help them stream better.
I would. I mean, here's kind of like, I guess, I don't know. I don't know how many this is going to be. I won't say this is my five. But here are my things that I've kind of found to work. So have a schedule. For me, I stream Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, 8 to 12, and that's my schedule. I stream that every single week, pending, obviously if my wife wants to go on a date night on Friday night or something like that. But
Mm.
those are for sure days that I will be online, and people message me like, "Hey, well, like, are you streaming tonight?" That kind of stuff. And so for me, those are kind of like, that's my number one. Set a schedule.
Okay.
Set a time where people are going to know that you're going to be online. Set a time where people are going to know that they can find you, especially with DLive. DLive is struggling with like the notification side of stuff, and I don't even know the answer to what that is. But for myself, with my schedule, people know, hey, at 8 o'clock, Central Time, I can pop in to Best of the Worst, and he's going to be on. And
Right.
if he's not on, I've most likely posted on Twitter saying, "Hey, I'm sorry guys, I had an emergency meeting. I'm not going to be able to be on," or I still have a full-time job that
Mm.
I'm required to do. So for me, that was number one. Uh, I agree completely. Anytime, unless it's just like a crazy bonkers game / stream, for me at 3.5 hours, I'm pretty much done. Like,
Mm.
I've talked so much, I've exerted so much crazy hype energy that I'm just ready to go home, eat a bowl of cereal, and watch some streams, and pass out around 2 a.m. because I'm just still like, even though I'm not stream worthy, I'm still just so hyped from
Mm-hmm.
being on. But yeah, figure it out for yourself. Like, so that would be my number two. Is poop reference. Is figure out where is your sweet spot. Even full-time streamers like Zonda says that for him at 6 hours, that's his mark. Like, he can't
Right.
stream past 6 hours. Even as a full-time streamer, he can't stream past 6 hours. So for him to
Mm.
be a 6 hour stream, at full time, he's got to make that 6 hours hype the whole time. He's got to make it drive and feel pumped. And so you have to kind of be self-aware. Like you have to realize, okay, my reach isn't working at this time, or all these kind of different things, and just assess, test things. Did it work? Did it not work? Why did it work? Like, just constantly be figuring it out. Don't ever be too proud to say that failed. I'm going to try something different. Don't ever be so proud where you're just like, well, viewers were just stupid and they just didn't get it. So, screw them. I'm going to keep doing what I want to do. If you want to be a streamer, like if this is really what you want to do, then you got to figure it out. Like you got to kind of work through the thoughts. And maybe that's, watching back your streams. Maybe that is like, for me, I have a memory where I can just be like, okay, like we died out here, or, I did this and it happened. Like, I don't know. Like, I just have the ability to kind of like process through the night. And so for me, I don't watch my replays. I watch them just for audio sake every once in a while, where I'm just like, is my audio cue still good?
Well, that's actually a good tip. If you guys want to make sure your audio
is make sure you're watching stuff back, listening, making sure videos look good. So that would kind of be bundled up. Get yourself a good microphone. Don't be using this crap attached to headphones. Buy on Amazon. I think like for like $45, $30-$45, you can buy a condenser mic. You can buy a condenser mic and then get an arm, so it's not sitting on your desk. When you tap, you're hearing every little thing. And really, webcam is kind of like, there's a lot of people that have very successful cams or successful streams with no camera, but their microphone is good. And make sure it's always just a little bit on camera, so that way people know what you got. So that way when you get sponsor #ad, then people know, like, oh man, the Blue Yeti is the worst. I should buy the Blue Yeti. But
that's what I use, Blue Yeti.
Yeah.
The Yeti Blue, I think they call it.
I guess mine is Snowball. I'm a liar. I'm a terrible promoter. I actually have a Snowball Ice. So whatever.
He's promoting the wrong company. He's the worst at advertising.
So where was I? Okay.
Somewhere between 3 and 4.
Yeah.
Have good audio. The cameras. Well, what's important with the audio is that you're actually communicating.
If you're gonna do a camera, do a good camera.
Right.
But camera is not a necessity. Does that make sense?
Right.
Like, yeah. C922 Fatty B53 said Logitech C922. That is a solid camera, solid webcam. Yep. You're not looking for depth of field. You're not looking for blurred backgrounds. Like you can do that kind of stuff with XSplit if you want to have those effects. And so yeah, that's kind of, if you're going to do a webcam, do it good, obviously. But really, you shouldn't be streaming if you don't have audio, like if you can't talk.
Right.
And so
I agree.
That's kind of my mindset of it all. Like, be console if you want to be console, be computer if you want to be computer. Watch, I don't know. Do your thing. Like, I don't care about what your actual PC specs are, and you're using a mechanical keyboard, or if you're using a mouse with a gazillion buttons on it. Like, that's not, like, as a viewer, you don't see that kind of stuff. And so,
right.
And really, like, being the best at a game is not important. Now, if you're going to be that kind of streamer, like Enforcer J, for instance, awesome streamer on DLive, amazing at Apex, like mind-blowing moments on Apex, and he's able, that is who he is as a streamer. But you don't have to be that to be a streamer. You can be, a personality. You can be captive. You can have, a beard on your head. You can be different. You can bring joy to people a different way, not just destroying somebody's life and sending them back to the lobby. So that, to me, that's kind of where I land is the audio. I would say number 4 is get to know your streaming software.
Yes.
Get to know it. To me, that was the biggest hurdle, that I ran into when it came to streaming. Like I could put the content on the screen and I could put my audio, but then even within the audio, like OBS, if you don't know it, here's a little helpful hint. OBS has things like noise gate filters and gain and I'm trying to think of the other one I use now. I can't think of it because I don't mess with it anymore. But there's another one. It's like a like to take out a lot of the static and that kind of stuff like that.
Oh, it's like a filter.
Yeah, just those
Yeah.
kind of different things. I used to stream like right now. I stream in my office, so I don't have all of the family noise that's involved. But when I used to stream at home, like the noise gate was a big thing. Like
Sure.
I didn't want, like I don't want to hear your kid screaming in the background. Like,
Oh, right.
like
Yeah.
not terrible of me, but like don't be on stream if your kid's screaming. Like go take care of your kid and
Right. Yeah.
or turn on a noise gate so I don't so I don't hear your kid screaming in the background.
Well, it
Um,
scares me when people's dogs are barking and stuff.
yeah.
You're like, ah, yeah.
Yep. Yep. Exactly. Um, so yeah, get to know your software. I mean, even next level now for me, like I'm starting to learn now, like being able to like group and have like when I do my videos, like I have things like thank you for the worst donation across the top, and
Mhm.
thank you for the lemon, and I have a song playing, and I have green screen effects of confetti, and all these kind of different things, and that's because I've taken the time to learn OBS. Like there's a lot of times where I will choose not to stream. Like I might have like a 2 or 3 hour window where I could have streamed during the day, but instead I'll sit and I'll like mess around with OBS and try and figure it out. Um, and that's again that goes back into that production value. You're allowing somebody to not be stressed out by your janky off-centered
Right.
webcam or you know what I'm saying. Like
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I hope you're getting what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
So those are kind of like my 4 or 5. I don't know, whatever I said. Those are the worst. Those are the worst. Uh, what's the word I want to say?
Tips for
Those are
streamers.
the top 5 worst tips for streamers.
I think it was only four, but we'll call it 4.5. He's the worst at math too. But
Hashtag math is hard.
oh my God, the struggle is real. So something you hit on, which I want to say very specifically, be
Okay.
yourself.
Yeah.
Be yourself. We want the unique, wacky thing that you are, and you
Mm.
can't fake the funk for any length of time. People are gonna see right through it.
It's true, man.
I mean,
Yep.
and that's something like I've been watching you since you started streaming on D Live, and in the beginning you were yourself, but you were still a little more reserved. Now you're kind of seeing that everybody really loves
Yeah.
the quirkiness and the
Yeah.
weirdness, and you're totally going with it now, and
Mm.
you can see a difference in your demeanor when you stream. You're
Mm.
more excited. The audience is more. The viewers are they're in chat blowing you up. The whole
Yeah.
thing with anytime somebody accidentally says worst, oh my God, that's the best. Because
Even
everybody's
in a
like
video game, like
sitting
we'll be
around
playing
waiting.
Division 2 and somebody will say something like, or like in the game they'll be like, this is the worst thing that we could be in, and we're just like, everybody's like, they said it, it's the worst, it's the worst. And I was saying, I use that as self promotion. If you're kind of catching this now at the end here, I use that as self promotion for myself. Where I go into a stream and somebody will be like, "Oh man, that isn't that just the worst?" And I'm like, "Oh, you said my name!" And so it's just fun. It's just silly. But I will say, like I was telling you just moments ago about being okay with realizing that something doesn't work. So when I first got to D Live, I was literally labeling everything the worst
Mm.
because I was marketing myself. I was trying to create this name, and so you know, give us a moment. Rest in peace, the Jimmy Special, because the Jimmy Special is no longer really around. But the Jimmy Special, when we got to D Live, was a diamond, an ice cream, and a lemon. And the reason was there was a staff member named Jimmy who would go into everybody's stream and just donate diamond, ice cream, lemon, and then it became known as the Jimmy Special. And so I would go into somebody's stream thinking I was being funny, and I would give them a diamond, a lemon, and an ice cream, and I would go, "Welcome for you're welcome to have the worst special," is what I would say, and it was funny once, it was somewhat funny twice. The third time I did it to somebody, they did not respond well at all, like almost like offended that I was taking this from somebody.
Ah,
And I didn't realize, I didn't realize what I was doing by removing the identity of the Jimmy Special. And so I stopped. Like I backed off. I think I specifically went to that person on Discord and I was like, "Hey man, I'm sorry if I offended you on stream. I'm like sometimes my line that I seem to cross over um it offends people sometimes, and so I apologize for that." And he's like, "Oh no, it's okay. I just there's some things that I think are should be left alone." And so I was like, "No problem, man. Well, I'll back off. I don't need it. Like I'm wasting I'm wasting 111 Lino to go and drop the
right.
worst special on somebody." So uh, I kind of stopped doing that just because I offended somebody, and sometimes you kind of just you have to see, you have to kind of go far enough where uh, you got to kind of figure out that where's the line, where's the funny,
Well, and
and
you
then
you actually just hit on a point that I don't think we've made yet, which I really like, which is you said, well, number one, you said don't be afraid to admit you made a mistake and stop
oh sure,
making that mistake. But number two, what you just said was I was making a mistake. I realized I had offended someone,
right,
so I reached out to them privately in
sure,
direct messages to work it out.
yeah,
I think that's very, very good lesson for people to
right,
learn if they're a new streamer. If you have beef with the
yeah,
streamer, talk about it privately, work it out, because you may just end
right,
up being friends, and you may
yeah.
not, and maybe then you just stop watching. Do
But at
not
least you went out of your way to make it right, you
right,
know.
but more importantly, don't go on social media and start
Oh yeah, don't
flaming other
blast them.
people. Yeah,
No,
and
yeah,
they shouldn't be blasting you. That doesn't help anybody. It makes you
mhm.
look bad. You're gonna have less viewers. You're gonna have less friends, right? Like if you find another streamer you don't get along with, okay, so
Yeah.
what? Just
You're
leave it
human. I
alone.
mean, it happens. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
but
okay to not get along with people. Like that's
yes,
totally okay.
yeah, and like I had a thing with the streamer about a week ago, and I felt like I had been offended, and he felt like he had been offended,
Mm,
and we were both really like upset about it. And
really?
but we both sent each other a direct message almost at the exact same time that
Hmm.
evening, and both went, "Well, this is where I was at. Well, this is where I was at. Oh, snap, my bad. I didn't mean nothing by it. Well, I didn't mean nothing by it." And then we were homies again. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But it's that simple. Like work it out
Yeah.
or don't, but
Yeah.
keep it private.
Don't be a jerk. Like
Fatty's on the way to Twitter to talk
I
about
know.
the
I saw
worst
that.
podcast ever, basically. That's so awesome. Well, that's all right. You can do that as long as
Yeah,
it's
let
the
us know.
worst.
Let us know that it's the worst, man. Yeah.
so
Yeah,
so
and that was something about Facebook, like just simply because that's the community that we kind of became streamers in. Was not the case at all on Facebook. People would just go to the different groups, because that was the big thing about Facebook, was that you could share to all these different groups,
mhm.
and you would just go to these groups and people would just be blasting each other like, this guy, like he did this and he said this, and like to me, like I just don't deal well with drama. Like I don't want drama. Like I have enough drama with my 3 kids and my wife. Like I don't need virtual world drama. Like I don't need that. And so I I just kind of like I run away from it. And if I personally offend somebody, then I don't know. It goes with my job
Mm.
where like without realizing it, you can offend somebody without without meaning to, without having any intention to, whether that's being uh, whether that being with words or with me changing a program that their kid grew up being a part of their whole life, and I
Mm.
changed that program and now their grandkids don't get to be a part of it, and
Mm.
without realizing it you offend people. And my whole desire is I want to make my effort as much as I can to mend those relationships. And if it comes down to it and I go out of my way to try and mend it, and there's just a wall and they can't get past their own personal hindrances, then that's okay. That's on them. But
Right,
at least
right.
I know I tried. And that doesn't mean it's over. That doesn't mean I never try and reach out to them again. And that doesn't mean that I don't, in this case of a streaming scenario, it doesn't mean I don't go back to their stream. If I
Right,
liked their
right.
content the first time, then I probably will go back and check them out. But
So something
yeah.
that I think you're uniquely qualified to speak about, because you've been streaming for 5 years, but also you are a youth minister, you work with a lot of children, you have your own children. I'd like to talk about cyberbullying
Okay.
and why it's obviously a terrible thing to do, but
Sure.
maybe you've had some experience with that. Maybe you could give some insights. But
Hmm.
if you don't mind talking about that, I think it's Facebook,
Yeah.
YouTube, Twitch. There's been all these other platforms where there's a lot of bullying, a lot of trolling, and
Mm-hmm.
that's something that we don't allow on D Live. If you have hate speech or any sort of cyberbullying, you're immediately going to get deleted and muted and reported.
Yeah.
Right. So what has been your experience with that?
Well, I would like to obviously draw a line between troll and bully.
Okay.
One, um, in the world of school, I think bully is thrown around way too much. I think there's some kids that are just struggling, and they're trying to find their own attention, and they don't really know how to get that attention, and sometimes it
Mm.
comes off as just bullying or being annoying, or that kind of different stuff like that. And so on that side of stuff, like for me, if somebody comes into my stream and they're bullying, or they're you know they're not just trolling, but they're trying to like attack me.
Mm.
I don't know. For me, like, I've gotten thick skin, and I have a community that doesn't put up with their crap. And so if it really is true, then I've got my boys that will just berate them, and
Yeah, yeah.
they'll leave worse off than hashtag
Worse.
than they came in. But 90% of the people that just come in and are just wanting to troll, or just kind of poke fun or whatever, like,
Mm.
either I just turn it back on them, and we just banter back because that's what we do, or they become a part of the family. And I know
Yeah,
Chaos
yeah,
Keith's got stories like that,
yeah.
where he's had kids that will come in and will blast and blast and blast, and then all of a sudden they just turn and they're like, "Oh, this is a community. Like, I can be at home here. I
Yeah.
don't have to feel like I don't have to belittle, and I don't have to hate for
Mm.
attention. I can get attention just because of who I am. I don't have to get attention because
Right.
of what I'm saying or what I'm doing to you." So,
Well, and
um,
you actually
yeah,
give your audience individual attention. You read the chat, you communicate with them,
right,
so they don't have to act out to get that attention.
right.
They're going to get
Like,
it
it's killing me right
regardless.
now while we do this, and I'm seeing this scroll by, and so, but I see your bro is telling him to wait until the end. So,
Yeah,
so I
yeah.
want to address
He's
the things.
he's
Like, they're good
handling it well,
questions.
actually.
So,
My
I
brother's
appreciate
being a
that.
great mod. And let's talk
Um,
about that. Actually,
but
let's. How important is it to have mods in your channel that you trust?
it's huge. You know, I had mods already from Facebook. Facebook
Mm.
was bad. Was real bad for trolls, and just not even. I want to say trolls. I'm bullying, like just straight bullying,
Mm.
and hate. And so we had to enact some mods pretty darn quick. And so I had two key mods when I was on Facebook, and those they both came over to D Live also, obviously.
Nice.
Um, but since that, I've made a really good friend from bringing him over from Facebook in Super Sport Games, and he's a mod. And then just recently, we added author Joe Holt to our mod ship. So I actually only have 4 people that are
Ooh,
mods on my stream.
I'm the worst mod.
He's the worst. He's the newest worst mod, and so I Here's my personal opinion. Every single time that, and I honestly like I didn't do this for you, and so I feel bad on this. But anytime I mod somebody, the they know the inner things of what I want out of my stream. And so the fact that you didn't know until just now that I was a youth minister is not the norm for my mods. My mods know they know my family, they know all the things about me. They so so for me, my mods, they understand what I'm looking for, and they're okay with the troll. But when somebody comes in and just starts, racial slurs and just being demonstrative, that stuff just doesn't fly. And yeah, hashtag Christian Minecraft server. Yep. Um, and so they know those things about me, and they know what I'm looking for in what my community is going to be. And that doesn't mean my mods aren't Christians, and that's not what I'm looking for. I want real people. I want real people that care about solid community, that want that to grow, and they want it to prosper. And we've created a community Discord where if somebody doesn't want to go out of their way to make their own Discord, they can use the worst Discord. And not that we're a stream team, like that's not what I'm about at all. I just want to be a community where people care deeply about each other, and have, if they're having issues, like to be able to know that it's a hashtag safe place to vent,
Yep.
and to talk about it. And so I for me, my mods, they're the next to closest people in my life, which is really strange because I've never met you, Joe. I've never met Aaron, Black Beezy. I've never met Jeff, and I've never met Joe, Super Sport, personally. But I probably know them better than the friends that I had in in college. Like, I don't know, man. I'm getting worked up right now. Like, I love my mods because they're close to me, and so yeah.
So, yeah, here's another one of your mods just showed
I know,
up.
man. They're dicks.
The worst. They're worsts.
They are, man.
They're worsts.
They're worse than the worst, man.
What's up, Catcher Six? What's up, buddy? So we covered cyberbullying. Don't do it. We covered why it's important to have good mods. He's excited to see where the stream goes from it. I mean,
Dr. Six he's always able to completely turn anything that I say into the worst comment I could have made. And so if you need dirty comments, they're not going to come directly from me, but Got Your Six will always be there for you to fill in that gap for you. So
to fill in that gap.
I went there.
Oh, all right. You're gonna have to keep that on your channel, buddy. All the sausage parties and whatnot and what have you.
He said sausage party.
Sausage party. Yes. I do. I was just waiting. All right. So we like to open up to questions to the audience, and obviously we can come back around if there's a point we want to make. But obviously, somebody already asked you, like, why is there a Monopoly game behind your head?
Sure.
What edition is it?
Yeah. That is the 80th. That is the 80th anniversary edition. So it's actually the newest anniversary edition. Monopoly is a really interesting thing for me. My wife and I spent a lot of time just getting to know each other playing Monopoly, and we kind of decided that if we can make it through a game of Monopoly together, then our marriage will succeed. Because Monopoly is like the hardest game to play with a friend.
That's so awesome.
Still
it's
being
true.
A friend.
It's true.
And so out of nowhere, my wife, for one birthday before we had kids, was she bought me this. Ooh, as I hit my microphone, bought me this edition. And this is the 50th anniversary edition of Monopoly. She bought it for me off of eBay, and it was actually a McDonald's Monopoly win. And it kind of started that, like, I've never in my life collected things. I've never been a collector. Like, my family, we moved a lot, and I always had a hard time with collecting stuff because that just meant more things for me to have to get rid of later and all that kind of stuff like that. But then she bought me this, 50th anniversary edition, and then she then got me the 60th anniversary after that, and then I got the 70th anniversary, and then it was like 5 years ago, I think, or so, the 80th came out, and I have not opened that one. That's been unopened. But I have another one at home that has my other favorite thing that a lot of people don't know about. But my other favorite thing is penguins, and so there's actually a Monopoly edition that just came out that has a penguin character as its as one of its tokens. So
nice.
Yeah.
So what games do you like to play on stream?
I don't know, man.
I mean,
so like I said
streamer?
Earlier, like we were Facebook, or on Facebook we were Fortnite only, and that was because that was the reach that we got. And so I enjoy battle royales a lot. I enjoy battle royales a whole lot. And so when we first came to DLive, we played Realm Royale a whole bunch because nobody was playing Realm Royale, and so it's kind of one of those fun things. And then Apex came out, and that was a huge turd bucket of a BR for me personally. Don't hate, don't at me. I don't need that. But for me, yeah, Black Bees is already in there. He loves Apex. For me, like Apex, I struggled hard with Apex, and so we just didn't really get into that. But right now, I mean, I play anything from I've played League of Legends on stream. I've played World of Warcraft on stream. I told you I've been playing World of Warcraft since 2004, Unholy DK. And so I play Division 2 right now. I have an Xbox set up where I play the games with gold, and I don't know, man. There's literally nothing that's off limits for me. I'm up for anything. Agaro.io. I don't. We talked about doing like Jackbox community nights.
Mm-hmm.
Do the worst community nights where we play some Jackbox together. I don't know, man. Like,
can you explain Jackbox? Because I literally just found out about it, and I'd like to know because I don't.
Yeah, Jackbox is a really cool little. It's like a virtual party night type of thing. So it allows you to play with other people different games, like T-shirt KO, where you draw a T-shirt and then you have to come up with a really funny saying to go with the T-shirt, but everybody is doing their own part. So like you might make the T-shirt while I make the different like a different phrase, but then Black Beezy's the one that puts these two together, and like they might not match at all, but they're really stinking funny. And so it's just a fun time to laugh and hang out and be more of that community style rather than just hard grinding gear score out on Division 2 while I stare at the screen trying to make sure my aim isn't complete garbage trash. So
well, and I think you just hit on a good point, which is, yes, if you're going to play these games, obviously do your best and try to be good, but if you ignore your chat, it's kind of defeats the purpose of streaming, right? If you're not going to interact with your chat, then just play the game. Don't bother streaming it. That's my opinion, right? Like if you don't interact with chat, you're not going to keep your audience, and you're not going to build an audience. So they're asking about a number of games in chat, some that I know, some that I don't.
I'm just looking back through your chat, man. It's ridiculous. The Fatty B53, man, with his comment, he goes, "I'm sorry, I can't hear you guys. I'm still struggling to come out of being deaf from the loud boom of your spiking the microphone." I love it, man.
Fatty wants to know if you're playing American Truck Backdoor Hookers.
Man, to me, like, I love watching your stream while you play that American Trucker Simulator, but for me, man, like, I would be bored out of my gourd playing that game. So.
Well, what's funny about that game is it's not about the game.
Yeah.
I can play that game with a third of my brain, and the other 2/3 gets to chat and hang out.
Yeah. Yeah, and for you, I mean, your stream is so story driven, and like I said earlier, like
Mm.
when like I find things about streamers where I'm just like, man, I could integrate that better. And so watching your stream, I'm like, man, I wonder if I have any funny stories that would take longer than a 30-second blip of how I made my kid, and and so
This guy.
but
Nothing.
so
No,
I
no.
mean,
Keep.
you're a storyteller, and so playing a game
Yep.
like
Yep.
American Truck, whatever, American Truck or Backdoor Hooker,
Game of the
you're
year.
able to tell stories, and that's what allows Game of the Year edition. Um, yeah,
Well, actually realized yesterday I was playing. I ran a couple runs, and they were 45 minutes to an hour long hauls, and I actually got done to the end of the haul, and was surprised I was done. Right, like the time flies by
mm,
because you start talking story, you start interacting with
yeah,
chat. It becomes super super entertaining as a streamer. Right, I forget that I'm
yes,
entertaining you guys because I'm being
yeah.
entertained so much.
Yep, Black Beezy and Got Your Six hate that about me, like because they're both gamers. They're both gamers and they're both viewers. Black Beezy
Mm.
streams a little bit, but mainly they game and they view. And man, I'll be like, we'll be playing Division 2, and we're fighting the big bad boss, in World Tier 5, and they're like, "All right, well, I guess we're two manning this 3-man mission right now," and because I'm just talking to chat, I'm just reading chat, hunkered down, and so yeah, if you're not engaging with your community, like this is what I tell people all the time, and I'm not gonna blast because that's not the point. I had an experience where I greatly enjoyed a particular streamer, and he was super engaging with his content, and then all of a sudden he stopped engaging with his content, with his chat, and all it became was him commentating about his gameplay and
Mm.
about what he's doing. He was he's really great at what he was doing,
Mhm.
but he just stopped acknowledging donations, subs, anybody talking, anything. And at a certain point, I just kind of, in my mind, went, well, how is this any different than me just watching his YouTube clip? How is
Mhm.
this any different? And I just decided I don't want to be a streamer that is a YouTube clip. And while I can make YouTube clips and I can create that content if I want to, I want the reason that you come into my stream is because I noticed you. And so, yeah.
Mm. Well, that's a good point. And when I first started streaming, I had trouble like keeping up with chat, but also maybe trying to game. And I
Right.
would get lost. My gameplay would suffer or my chat would suffer. And it really
Mhm.
is something that we can't understate, which is
Right.
it's not it's not as easy as sitting down, turning on the camera,
Yeah.
and playing a game.
It takes practice for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Takes time, takes practice. TidyLabs.stream, if you guys are a D Live streamer, TidyLabs.stream, amazing place. We mentioned it earlier about the alerts and the gifts and that kind of stuff like that. But they actually have built into the chat box, you can turn on a notification. So let's say you are streaming and you kind of got a dead chat and it's not really moving, and you're like, doesn't mean that you're just done, like you're not entertaining the stream, but you don't realize that somebody says something or that somebody does something. Well, the Tidy Labs actually has a like a little beep kind of noise that
Hmm.
you can turn on, so you can actually hear the
A
like when somebody
chat
says something.
alert. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
chat alert.
and it's huge, and it's kind of trained me just in my um in those dead times to be like, oh, somebody said something, or when we are in the middle of a really intense fight scene or something and I hear the blip, I'll be like, "Hey, I heard, I hear that you said something. I'm so sorry. I'm, let me kill this guy real quick, and I'll read what you said." And so they don't go unnoticed, because I hate that about a stream. You go into a stream, you say something, you wait 15 minutes, and the brochacho's not even looked at the
Yeah.
chat, and you're like, I'm here, like I want you to notice,
Well,
but
and I've actually left chats, even like people that I like and that I watch all the time. and I go into their chat and I'll say something, I'll drop some donations and stuff, and it's like 10 minutes later and they hadn't even looked, I leave. I like, well, I'll come back tomorrow when they want to hang out.
Yep.
You know, like I don't go to streamers' channels to watch gameplay. I go to hang out with my friend.
Yeah.
So like we can't understate or overstate. My bad. We can't overstate how important it is to interact with your chat.
Yeah, I agree. I agree completely. And it doesn't. I mean, you don't have to be a Joe Holt kind of good quality. I mean, I guess I should have pointed that way. Joe Holt kind of quality of that story, constant storytelling kind of ability.
Right.
But care about the people that are taking their time to come to DLive, to come to Twitch, to come to, you know, Facebook gaming, to come to Mixer, wherever you're at. Like, if you're a multi-streamer, care that you have 2 streams that people are talking to you in. Care about it. So, any other questions? I haven't seen any more questions pop up.
Yeah, this is definitely a Q&A portion, guys. So if you have any question you want to ask, and Fatty said something that I think is interesting, which is it's incredible how guys like Dr. Disrespect don't interact except in between games, only look at donos occasionally, and still have 30,000 subs. Well, Fatty, I think that's what's different about DLive. DLive is community driven, right? If you want to ignore your chat or you want to be ignored in chat, keep watching Twitch, keep watching YouTube, keep watching Facebook. But if you guys actually want to become part of a community and a family and a group of friends, DLive, that's the difference.
Yep. Yeah, Charles Wayne, the CEO of DLive, he came out and made a statement when DLive was first kind of making the shift from small to this kind of where we want to grow, and he kind of gave us an insight. You know, Twitch is Amazon. You know, Facebook is Facebook, Mixer is Microsoft. Well, DLive is community. And it sounds super cheesy, but that's exactly who we are. Like, if you want to be noticed, if you want to be known, like, that's why you come here. Like, the people that don't notice their chat will not succeed as well as those that do. I mean, you might succeed, you might still do really well. Like, PewDiePie might come on here and never once look at his chat, and he might still just decimate DLive, and that's great. But I think for the regular everyday streamer, you're gonna have to communicate.
Well, see that, like you were talking about my storytelling ability. The reason I joined DLive was to talk story, to communicate with the audience. And look, guys, I've never streamed before 40 days ago. I've streamed 40 days straight because I set a goal for myself, but like I'm already a verified partner because I go around support other streamers, because I interact with my chat and they keep coming back on a daily basis.
Yeah. So Fatty again asks or states, well, I mean, when you grow to that large, it has to be impossible to keep up. But here's the thing: is set expectations. Like that would be something that's easily done, especially in a battle royale scenario. Like maybe put up a little message like, hey, like while I'm still talking, I'm not going to be able to read chat, or set an expectation with your mods. If your mods are in your channel, be like, hey, he's in game right now, like just like what Saline was doing, and saying like, hey, hold questions until the end, like that kind of stuff. Hold questions until he's in between game. Like just setting that, like set an expectation, so that way when you aren't being noticed, it's not out of they're just a blatant not paying attention. You know what I mean?
And I really like that chat alert, because I've noticed even hardcore gamers, they're like, and then ding, and they go, and they look, it grabs your attention. It's super handy.
Yeah, and a lot of times, especially with a lemon being only a Lino, you can say something, and if they don't notice you can drop a lemon, and all of a sudden they're like, oh, there's somebody here. And
actually, I do that a lot. When you come in and you want their attention, you say something and you want them to look, drop a donation. They're gonna look every time.
Since I've switched over, I now, with going to Division 2, it's so much more demanding on my PC. I've gone to a dual PC setup for my streaming. I actually don't hear my dono anymore unless I physically turn up my speakers to my
Oh.
streaming computer.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why, when you guys come in and you start spamming my lemons, I'm like, I don't care. Got your 6 cares, but I don't care.
Oh, you guys ruined my fun.
I turned it back on. I turned back on spam protection. I turned it off, but I
Oh,
turned my volume down on my Sweet Lemonade song.
so I
So
can spam you
you
again?
can spam again. You can spam freely. Spam freely, son.
Got your 6. Buckle up, Buttercup. I'm on the way. And I got a sack of lemons.
You gonna smack me with them?
Whatever it takes. Whatever it takes.
Oh, you have the same song, Fatty? Yeah. Oh man, it's so funny when I show people that video from where Sweet Lemonade came from. People have no.
I had no idea. We're not going to get into the details of that video, but if you don't know where it comes from, yeah. Even what I just said, I feel uncomfortable because I know where it comes from. So I've seen it. I have to mute my computer if someone spams lemons. Yeah, we're not going to necessarily read everything that's typed in chat because
Lester Mo,
I'm going to need you to calm down, buddy.
I mean, I'm just gonna say out loud.
No, don't.
Never have had it happen.
Oh,
never.
Right, yeah, okay. I thought you were gonna read it. I was like, let's. I don't even know how the logistics of that would work, but we're not gonna go into it.
Yeah.
So there's 2 things we always like to mention, guys. For those of you who don't know, and since there's a bunch of new viewers here on D Live today, we like to talk about Lino. If you're gonna purchase Lino, depending on where you purchase it, the fees can be up to 30%. Okay, so the cheapest way in America to buy Lino right now is buy it from the D Live website, from your Lino wallet, and then you get a very small PayPal fee. Yep. But the fees up to 30% through the Apple Store, through the mobile apps. So at max value at $100, you're actually going to get several thousand less Lino, depending on where you buy the Lino. So definitely try to buy your Lino online. The second thing we always like to mention about Lino is, like, we've got Best of the Worst here with me in my stream, but let's say you guys want to drop him some Lino, right? You want to support him while he's offline, while he's not streaming on his channel. You can, down beneath every one of our boxes, there's a tab called replays. And those replays are all the past videos. You can go into any replay and you can donate Lino at any time the streamer is offline. So you could still support your favorite streamers that way. What are you laughing about? Go ahead and talk. Go ahead. Joe's in chat. What's he saying?
Lester Mo, man. It's the way he wants his name pronounced.
Oh, we're gonna move on. Some people are pretty clever with their names.
Yeah,
it's pretty freaking clever.
Yeah, like, well, I was just on I just clicked Get Lino at the top of my D Live page, and so right now, like, I'm just sitting on 88 Lino, and I can click PayPal 88 Lino, and that's $1.53. But if I click credit card, it's actually $1.22. So you can spend less, even more so, with other options. So,
and then I hadn't actually looked at that yet. The difference
on mobile, know what it is. I don't think they've changed the value of what it costs, but I think they give you less Lino.
Well, no. What happens is the platform charges a higher percentage fee, so you end up getting less. So, like, we'll give you for instance, if you bought Lino on your phone at max value, it was $99, and you got under 6,000 Lino. If you buy it on the computer, it was $97, and you got almost 8,000 Lino. So it was literally like a 2,000 Lino difference, and it cost you $3 more. So, but that's got to do with the percentage that the platform charges, not with Lino themselves.
Yeah, Lino's value does not change. One Lino is 1.2 cents, whether or not you buy it from Apple or you buy it from PC, or Android. That doesn't change any. It just changes what it costs you to get it because of the fees that are bundled up into it.
Exactly. So that's just something we like to tell everybody. That way you're out there maximizing your.
Right now, like, until D Live gets chess rolling again on PC, if you are wanting to get free Lino, where you just just simply by being in streams or by chatting on streams, you do need to be on the mobile app. You can download the mobile app from Play Store or from or Apple Store, but the app is the only way you can actually gain Lino. You can get anywhere from 1 to 4 Lino from your chest, but and you can donate that right back to your streamer. So
Yeah, I love D Live because if you don't have to invest money and you can still make money and still support your favorite content creators.
Yep. And that's the crazy, if you are a streamer listening to this somewhere else, the incentive to be on D Live, if you are looking for D Live other than community, if you're looking to stream for actual money, like you earning a living, D Live, immediately you receive 90.1% of all Lino that's donated, whether that be subs or whether that be your donation. And then that 9.9% Lino that is taken from that direct donation goes into a locked point pool. If you invest back in the platform and actually lock your points, then you will receive a locked point bonus. And that's where that 9.9% goes. DLive doesn't take any of it. DLive does not take the cut. DLive gives it right back to us. And then if you are a content creator, after 7 days of leaving your content on DLive, you'll get another bonus based upon how much Lino you earned on that stream. So right now, Joe has earned 339 Lino while being on this. So 7 days from now, he will earn the content bonus back. So just by leaving his content on the stream, he then earns more money.
Now, somebody asked me earlier today, and I tried to articulate it, but maybe you could actually articulate it better.
You want to say that again? You're cutting out on me.
Yeah, and the people are spamming donations over here. I really appreciate the Lino guys. So somebody actually asked me today, a new viewer who came over with PewDiePie. They said, "Well, if DLive doesn't take any percent, how do they make money? How is this going to work?"
Sure.
What's your opinion?
Well, the technical opinion is DLive right now as a test net is receiving Lino. That's how we actually, that's how the chess works and that kind of stuff like that. DLive receives Lino from the testnet backing. DLive as a company right now is actually being financially backed as well. DLive then all of the here's the unspoken. So if this is wrong, that's fine. I'm fine with being wrong. My wife tells me it all the time.
Worst.
So if my understanding is correct, like any bank in the world, when you put your money into the bank to go into checking, to go into savings, to go into a CD, whatever it is, that money is actually available for the bank to use, to pay a loan, to do whatever it wants to do with it. The same thing is happening with DLive. You lock in you lock in Lino points. DLive now has that locked in. It takes 12 weeks to pull your Lino out of locked up. And so you have a window where DLive is able to kind of cover the difference. And so I think there's some level of I think DLive is investing it back. I think DLive is utilizing what's being locked. Why wouldn't they be? So here's the other side though. I don't think there are as many people being paid to run DLive as we want to think there is. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so they have a small overhead.
Oh yeah, super small.
And I'd actually never considered that the locked in Lino that's actual money, that cryptocurrency that you're saying, hey, hang on to this for a while, and that would legally give them the right to leverage with that money.
Right. Supersport asked, you guys mentioned collecting the chess, and then I'm assuming he's meaning to ask, is that not crypto mining? Yeah, so DLive does not consider it to be crypto mining, and the reason is because every single person on DLive is required to have a phone number to actually be a part of it, and then for them to create their own account and all that kind of stuff like that. And so it's not having multiple accounts allow you to have multiple access. Like there's a lot of blocking and a lot of protecting of that. And that was a big thing of why they brought the chess down off of the PCs, was because there were some people that were getting around that, and farming, quote unquote, the lino out of it. So so I think they are addressing a lot of those kind of things, because they don't want there to be, they don't want there to be author Joe Holt 1, author Joe Holt 12, author, so on and so forth.
Exactly.
Where you just sit there with your Google phone number, creating a multitude of accounts. And so, because that's not what DLive is about. And eventually, when we move off of testnet, the chest might leave altogether. And we don't know what moving off of testnet going to mainnet looks like. So
right, and that's a good point, because there have been some growing pains, but that's with any new company. And this, again, it is a new platform. It is still on the testnet with the cryptocurrency. It is a new cryptocurrency. But, Fatty just brought up a great point. They said they're obviously doing something right. They just pulled a majorly successful streamer from another platform. And I would like to actually quantify that statement. They didn't just they didn't just pull a majorly successful streamer from another platform. They pulled the largest streamer from the largest platform with the most viewers, 93 million viewers.
Right.
Because, and he said this in his own words today, because the platform supports the content creators.
Right.
Because honestly, the platform is owned by the content creators. Go ahead.
I was just literally getting ready to say, and people always want to go to, well, I bet they just paid him a bunch of money to move over to DLive. But honestly, think about it. There's no way that they would have paid him enough if DLive wasn't what it was.
Oh, right. I mean, he's got 93 million followers. He's clearly making money.
Why does, really, exactly. Why does he, what is it about DLive, or what could DLive offered to be like, oh, well, that's a crap ton of money, I guess I'm going to go there. No, that can't be. It has to be what DLive is about. And that's the rewarding the content creators. That's about, I don't know.
Well, one thing he actually said specifically, and he kind of emphasized, was when you lock in Lino points, you actually get to direct the way that the company it grows and changes, because you get to vote as a stakeholder in the company. And honestly, I think that you could really see a difference in his body language, his tone, his inflection when he said that. You could tell he was really excited about, not only is this a great company the way it is, but I'm going to get to help direct how it grows and changes. And he can tell already how receptive the company is to the people that are involved. And the answer is simple, guys. It's because we own the company. We own the content. Right? We're not trying to convince a bunch of rich old guys in an office somewhere that get 50% of everybody's income.
We're not trying to move Amazon, we're not trying to persuade Microsoft.
Guys, so people are talking about me pulling off a fireside chat with PewDiePie. I actually requested directly on the video that he posted today about moving to DLive, a request that if he'd like to join me for a live podcast. I interview DLive streamers. And so if any of you know him or know any of his staff and can reach out to him directly, we would definitely be stoked to get him on not just mine, anybody's. Fathead Noob does one on Sundays, anybody's live podcast, just to talk a little bit more about DLive. And because we're talking about the most successful content creator on the internet, guys, not just a successful content creator, the most successful content creator, right? So the sort of wisdoms that he would have about being a successful streamer would be invaluable to anybody that heard it. And I would be stoked to have that, but that's best of the worst, dude. That's why I wanted you on. Not only because I know you're a great dude, but because you've been streaming for 5 years. You moved over from a 5-year grind on another platform. And now correct me if I'm wrong, are you finding more success in a better community in 3 months than you did in 5 years?
Yeah. Well, again, just to kind of provide clarification, I was only on Facebook for 1 year, but on
Oh, okay,
Facebook for
okay.
one, no, you're fine, man. On Facebook on 1 year, I did $20 worth of ads on Facebook, which is their big thing. They want you to spend money to grow.
Yeah.
I did $20 worth of ads on Facebook. I promoted it out all the time. I joined all these crazy, crews that were follow for follow nonsense, and I got to 180 followers on Facebook. I don't know what I'm at right now. In the January to so in the 4 years or 4 months, well, 4 months of being on D Live, I'm sitting at 649 followers with consistently um, 12 peaking. I haven't streamed today, but peaking. I think we peaked at 25, 26 the other day. So, um,
Even like 5 people can make your night. They're in there
oh
chatting,
yeah,
they're
for sure.
engaging.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know if you
exactly.
guys saw it earlier, but when PewDiePie actually created his account this morning, there was 8,500 people in the chat.
Mm,
It's impossible to read it and keep up with it.
yeah,
So if you guys really enjoy, interacting with your chat and get to know them, don't be in a hurry to grow. Don't be in a hurry to do
yeah.
follows for follows and
I
force your
agree.
growth. Let it be organic, and you're going
Yep.
to enjoy the people that show up, and they're going to show up on a regular basis.
I This is something that just to notify. We did just get notified from Cheech. If anybody is be proactive out there. D Live is growing fast. D Live doesn't regulate a lot. But if you guys see people that are just being blatantly ignorant and just rude, whether that be in names or in stream content or anything like that, notify people. Get on the
Mm-hmm.
Discord. Let people know that things are not right. So
Well, actually, I had that because I mod for LT Zonda every morning. I had
hmm
somebody come in with a name that was clearly
oh yeah.
about hate speech, clearly.
hmm
And the very first thing they said was clearly hate speech. So
Yep.
not only did I immediately delete and mute them, but I then took a screenshot of it, posted it
Mm,
to Cheech on D
yep.
Live, and they removed him from D Live.
Yep.
So it's, those are extreme cases, guys. But again, the community that we're building here on D Live is one of family and love and support, right?
Yep.
That's why there's so many like I'm a nonprofit activist and work with children and seniors. Best of the worst is a children's youth minister.
Nonprofit as well. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I could go on and on and on and
Yep.
just keep telling you guys like these people. My buddy ABF4 TV fan page, I interviewed him. He goes into the inner cities of New York, takes at-risk youth kids and teaches them basketball, gets them into better schools, gets them
Mm,
college degrees, right?
yeah.
Like there are people
Bettering
doing
the world. Right.
real things like LeJean Brames and Fatty B53 who's in chat. I mean, they just had a fundraiser for disabled military veterans, right? Like there are people doing real things on this platform in real ways, guys. Like we're not ashamed to tell you we love you and that we have
Right.
a big heart and you can come into our chat and we're gonna love on you, right? If you like hate and discontent, you might as well delete your D Live account because that you're
Yeah.
not going to find what you're
It's
looking
not
for
gonna
here.
last. Yeah, and for my stream, I don't I don't have any banned words. I don't know if you ban words
I have
in your
some banned, but it's just
yeah.
because I've learned some stuff by modding Zonda's chat.
Yeah. And I honestly I didn't think I wanted it. Like I didn't think I wanted to have that kind of regulation and before I don't know if they've changed it, but the ban words were really weird. Like I went into a stream and all I did was ask the streamer how her night was going,
Mm-hmm.
but because the word has nig in it, and
Oh
that's a
yeah,
word
yeah.
that she's banned was nig in her stream, it wouldn't let me say the word night in her stream. And so I don't
Mm.
know if they've fixed a lot of that, but
I've
those were
run
the things
into a little bit of that.
I don't want to break down those walls. I mean, that's why I have the mods. So if those kind of things do come through, then we could just slap them with that ban hammer and
So Fatty
move on.
says that I should challenge you to trial by combat.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, well, it's still actually, there's some states, United States, that's still legal. If you have a problem with somebody, you're allowed to go down to the police station, tell them that you're going to engage in trial by combat, and the two of you can meet in the street with knives, guns, or swords and go at it.
Really?
Yes. There are still some places where that is legal.
Bring some links. Bring some sausage links.
Trial by sausage.
Slap you in the face with my worst.
Oh man. That would be the worst. Yeah, I'm no, they hate. See, there's some of these, it's hard to keep up with some of these individuals. We know they're special because.
Oh, you want him to fight the hate speech guy, not me.
Oh, well, I thought it'd be more fun. Me and you go at it with a link of sausages.
Tell me where to move to.
Sausage party. All right, guys. So look, we've been going
combat cold cuts.
That'd be the worst combat ever. So look, we've been going 2 hours. Best of the Worst is going to stream tonight, so we don't want to keep them too long. So I'm going to say one last time, if you have a question for Best of the Worst, now's the time to ask it. But we really appreciate you coming out to hang out with us, Mr. Jacob, Best of the Worst. He is the worst streamer on DLive. This has literally been the worst live podcast I've done on Fireside Chats.
I strive to provide the best content I can, and if nothing else, it's the worst. So
I love it, man. You're honestly, you're one of the good ones, and I really appreciate it.
So handsome, lots and lots of lacquer, man.
I was gonna say it's a little bit of shoe wax, and it's not. You don't think that takes a long time, do you? I mean, you put on.
I don't know if you guys can tell. My mustache, for whatever reason, I don't know why, my mustache is not as dark as the rest of my beard.
I'm a little uncomfortable when you lean that close and start rubbing your mustache.
So I don't know why it's like that. I have no idea, but I don't want to have no mustache, because then
it's called just for men.
And so when Nacho Libre came out back in, it was like 2005, 6, something like that. Nacho Libre was all about the mustache. So like me and 4 other buddies decided we were gonna go to the movie with just mustaches. But my mustache is not pronounced. Like I have a large mustache, but
easy, man. Easy.
It's just so blonde.
I have a large mustache. I've never thought I'd hear you say that out loud. But whatever. No, keep going. It's okay.
So like I have a good mustache, but it's so blonde. So I actually eyelined mascaraed my mustache to go to Nacho Libre because I have a good mustache. It's just not dark.
You do have a good mustache. Even a handlebar mustache.
I know, man. It's dipping down a little bit.
Mustache rides in chat later. Just head over to Best of the Worst stream. Actually, I could see that being one of your new
no way. No promises.
No promises. Well,
that's the thing is I don't like my mustache, so it would.
You've got a great mustache, but yeah, everybody's uncomfortable in the chat. I just wanted to make sure you guys felt the way I felt right now. He gets up into the
corner and starts
I was like, all right, calm down. Yeah, yes, Joe's having a good time. Hey, at least Super Sport Games is having a good time, guys.
He's like, all right, you guys are making me uncomfortable. I'm going to start flossing.
We strive to please you one at a time. All right, this is clearly gone off the rails.
Oh, and this was no Jameson.
Oh my God, guys. Oh. For those of you that saw our St. Patrick's Day 3-hour stream, the worst Netflix and chill ever. The worst Netflix and chill ever. Oh my God. We apologize publicly. It won't happen again until next year, St. Patty's Day. And even then,
it might look quite different. I think we've learned from our mistakes.
My beard will be longer. That's about the only thing different.
Maybe I'll have a Drew U size mustache.
You know what? If you want, guys, if you don't know Drew U and you don't know Drew U's beard, it doesn't even fit in the. Look at that. It doesn't even fit in the sticker. there's the beard hype is real, guys. The beard hype is real. Every time I go to the worst stream, I feel inadequate. Right? I've been growing this for 4 months. It's still like I feel like a child. Bearded men with hats, I think I said once. Anyway, guys, we love you very much. We appreciate you being here. You know, we do these fireside chats so you can get to know these streamers on a real personal level, but also so we can help you understand streaming and DLive and the Lino blockchain. But if you have any questions and you want to know just an incredible human being, his name's Best of the Worst. He really is becoming very quickly a damn good friend of mine. And I would encourage you guys to follow him. I'm going to just spam his link a few times there. Definitely drop by and drop some love on Worst tonight. He's about to go live on his own stream in just a few minutes. So, you know, again, thank you guys. Aloha wherever you are on the planet. We send you out love, and we will see you again in the very near future. So aloha for now, guys. Thank you very much.